Freddy and Jason are pop horror icons. They've been around our culture for almost 20 years, and each of them has become a symbol of all those things that collectively we as teenagers and then as adults are afraid of, so that they are the sum total of our current pop boogeymen.
This was always in the air, the two biggest boogeymen in town.
Well, this concept is not new, and I think New Line took it and said, let's do the contemporary version of the meeting of two ultra villains.
Freddy versus Jason is something that is an idea that I came up with putting the two of them together almost 10 years ago.
Paramount did at one point approach us, or we approached them with the idea of trying to do something, and they basically wanted what we wanted. They wanted us to license them the rights to Freddy Krueger and go off and really make their movie, which we were not anxious to do. So eventually Paramount lost whatever rights they had, and Sean Cunningham, who has been a friend of mine for a long time, approached us and asked us if this was something that we wanted to do.
At the very beginning, I said, gee, this could really be a good idea, but now that it's all come together and I finally get to see it, I say, this is a great idea. It really works well.
The idea kind of languished because it was difficult to find a production executive within New Line, up to and including our head of production at that time, who really cared a lot about it. When we changed our head of production, we renewed this imperative to Toby Emmerich that we got to find someone who's going to get behind this, and came up with a somewhat unlikely candidate, but we had this wonderful woman, Stokely Chapin, who likes the genre and could really jump in.
I had worked with a producer before and produced I Know What You Did Last Summer, and so I loved horror movies, and I always felt that they were, sort of a way to always find an audience, and that people are always going to love these movies. And 7 years ago, I heard the idea, and I was like, genius! Like, that's perfect! Like, what a great event picture. And then 7 years went by, and by coincidence, and I'd always wanted to work at New Line, but they called and I came over, and then I got Freddy vs. Jason as a project, and to me it was just meant to be.
Well, I've sort of been in bed with Freddy vs. Jason since 2000, since the millennium. I think I was sort of made my deal back then, and we've gone through several directors and several incarnations on the script.
We were somewhat stymied by trying to get a script together that really kind of made some sort of quality narrative sense. And that's what held us back even after we had all of these sort of two characters in place.
There had been a million drafts before. I mean, literally, I think 17, done by 12 writers.
70% of them probably were rewrites on the same story that all involved this cult called the Fredheads. And then Jason gets resurrected through his heart being thrown into a lake. So most of them were with that same storyline with a girl named Lizzie.
I was on a plane about 2 glasses of wine down last year, flying to London, and I met one of the executive producers of one of my favorite shows on television, King of the Hill. And he'd even done a draft of Freddy vs. Jason, and he told me all of his gossip and his take on it.
We worked on another project for New Line, and they brought us in to kind of pitch our take. And I knew that it had been in development for like 10 years, so we just came at it a little bit differently, I think, than the rest of the people. We didn't really change, go to the histories of the characters and that kind of things. So we wanted to take both histories and both characters as they were in the movies and then start from there.
Yeah, exactly.
That was sort of, our original take.
Keep it all intact, make it all count, don't discount all the other movies, and the fans will love you for it.
And so, fortunately, there was a treatment done that had basically the sketched out story of what the movie is. That's the one done by Shannon and Swift. And when I started, I sort of read the treatment and thought, there's some problems here, but it looks pretty good. Let's see what we get when the script comes in. So we got a really good script in. It was overly long and overly complicated and very, very dense. And so we timed the script, came in at 2 hours, 28 minutes, and we're like, this may be the American Beauty of horror films, but it's not American Beauty, and it probably shouldn't be 2.5 hours long. So David Goyer came in, and what he did, honestly, was collapse everything good that was in it, and making scenes that were 3 scenes before into one scene, and when you do that, that one scene becomes a lot more dramatic and a lot more interesting.
And the goal was obviously just to make the film as short as possible. And the task that he had was, to make it, to cut it down without really losing any of the scenes. So a lot of the dialogue wound up getting changed, and he, I think he combined 2 characters at one point. And, did a good job of keeping it short, but without losing the story.
I got involved to the extent of reading scripts as they were developed, interviewing directors that Stokely had previously vetted and brought to Toby and I.
I had made the sort of foolish, proposition to every agency that anybody who wanted to come in and meet, I would take the meeting with. So I probably took 60 meetings with directors of all kinds, from music video directors, commercial directors, people who'd made, one feature or a short, or everybody. And first, of course, we put together our top list of 5 or 6 people. Ronnie Yu was on that list. We went to him and he passed. I was like, okay, expected that. We went to, Wes Craven, and, the sort of like the top people in sort of making horror films.
There was a problem in finding somebody who was good and had the enthusiasm for it, in the same way that we had trouble finding a production executive to administer the project.
What was hard to find is there were people who loved the characters, who knew everything about them and had seen every movie 15 times, but didn't have the experience. And then there were people who had more experience, but kind of were like, oh yeah, I think I saw one back in the theater way back when. And we were like, what are you doing here? Like, why would you want to take this on if you don't care about these characters?
Then she approached Ronnie, his agent again. Is it possible that he might want to revisit this whole thing?
So we got him on the phone, and I kind of thought it was a lost cause, because I just expected him to say, thanks so much, for your interest, I really appreciate it, but no. And he was open to it, and we could tell, and so we kind of like kept reeling him in a little bit and said, well, why don't you just come here for a meeting and we can talk about it further? And he said, okay, and we're like, oh my God, he said, okay, he's gonna come. And
then Stokely brought me, I saw the 2 films that she suggested I see that would give me some feeling about the guy, which was The Bride with White Hair and the Chucky, Bride of Chucky, I guess. I was into brides. And I thought that they were quite well done, and the idea of having a Asian point of view and Asian style seemed to me to offer the possibility of bringing a new approach to a horror film than some of the more matter-of-fact, straightforward horror director.
When I was in Hong Kong, growing up in Hong Kong, and I watched a lot of those old on TV, old Hollywood monster movie. Like the horror movie, like, Vampire and Frankenstein versus Wolfman, or the Swamp Things, all that. And I just thought, this movie has to go back to the basic. Because we see so many of this like CGI movie now. And one thing that keep in my mind when I'm shooting this movie is the film called Rocky. When I first saw the Rocky, the scene that really hit me is the scene at the end, the final fight, when Apollo beat the crap out of Rocky, but Rocky had the spirit to fight back. Even though his eyes all swollen and all that, he tell the trainer, cut it open, cut it open. And that moment, like, I go, ooh, And then actually they cut it open and the blood just spurts out, And that for me is raw. It's raw. It's not like all this, now you have all this wire work, now everybody is copying everybody, like, jumping everywhere, flying everywhere. So I said, oh, now you have these 2 monsters together now in a ring. It's almost like a WWF thing, wrestler thing. So I said, I should go back to that rawness, to that, like I said, tearing your eyes out, tearing your livers out, damage your kidney, and then the machete chopping your heads off, chopping the fingers off, that's all rawness, I think, and less of those like quick cut. Because usually now, because every time we get to an action sequence, it's quick cut, 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 cut. First of all, you don't know where they are, and then you lose the dynamic. So this time I just put a camera there. I told the second unit director, I said, just put a camera there and let them chop each other out. Like in a chopping board, go, 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 and then blood going everywhere,
$145. 5, take 1. Yeah, I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna come to here. Is that good?
There's a lot of detail work.
Listen, Laura, he is the one that had me committed.
Oh, God damn. You see, you didn't understand. You still don't. Oh, we'll be wide enough.
Okay, and let her go on that side.
And then we'll put the other camera.
Okay, you know, behind you, you're protecting. Exactly, you're protecting. It's not just a movie now.
Okay. Boom. Get go inside. I'm taking you back to Western.
No, I've been shooting movie for a long time. You know, making a good movie, I know how to do it. In the beginning, I was hired to make this movie, and it's something that I wasn't too familiar with, and so I learned.
Get out of the van! Get out of the van!
Guys, what are you doing?
Where were you? I've been looking all over for you.
Get away from her!
You're in a hell of a lot of trouble. You know that?
Yeah, like I give a shit anymore.
Get in the house. You didn't understand. You were confused. You still are.
Stop it, bother me.
God damn it, Will Rollins. I'm not going to let you endanger my daughter again. You hear me?
Stop
Not after everything that's happened.
Stop it, Mom!
Yeah, no,
So we're gonna do the whole bit. Just Monica, we're gonna do the whole bit, right? Like Kia, and then we jump into the next scene. So like after Kia left, okay, give a moment, and then the rain will start, right? Give like a couple beats, let the rain start.
I have to close the window anyway.
This whole process, this movie, for me, is like a journey. You know, I do studies, I do research, I talk to people, and then realize, wow, this is great, you know? And then I start to get afraid, fear. Fear of what? Fear of like, to not disappoint the hardcore audience.
Ronnie he has a strange popular culture sensibility, and he doesn't necessarily articulate it. It's all in his visualization, but he is as young and as vibrant in that kind of way as you can be.
There's a scene that's in the movie where in the cornfield, and you know, he flips the guy's head around and pokes him down. So Ronnie Yu was in the room with Bob Shea, and he starts to get up and act this scene out with Bob, and so he steps on Bob's toe, and he goes, and like to Bob's head, and I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then he pushes him in the chest, and I was like, okay, there goes Ronnie's job, like and Bob laughed.
Well, Ronnie's a lot of fun, and he's got a lot of energy. And you know, I remember this one time we were literally in a conference room for, I'm not exaggerating, 10 hours.
10 hours.
And you know, Damien and I and Ronnie were like acting the entire script out, like scene by scene. I remember like being on the floor, like, you know, acting out the bed kill for him and like how we saw it and how he saw it. And I mean, it was a great experience.
Jody?
Oh, hi, Julian. How was the day? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing today,
Oh, I'm
Ronnie?
very tired. I
Yeah.
need sleep. I need 8 hours sleep. And now I'm getting 2.5. So I'm in a bloody mood.
Straight away, straight away.
Like that, huh?
You need to put blood all over his back. Where are those people?
The blood people? Carton's right here.
Blood all over his
Blood
back.
people are right here.
2, 3, go.
3, 2, 1.
When we come up, if you lean back and then flap forward, you might be able to try that. Like, I might be able to do this because all that bedspread and crap, no, it's only going to be the sheet. The pillows would be like
If almost like the weight of this is,
Yeah.
or the momentum of this forced you back like that.
Oh, totally.
Try that, but don't do it too fast at first.
Let that go.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Now.
I hit it.
Sound speeding.
Okay, they have a slate. What was it?
It's 11 frames. We're at OS. Quiet, guys.
Sorry.
Ready, Jesse? And
Set.
action.
We're gonna go into the inner sanctum of the shooting set. Come with me.
I got some.
To the window, please. Not one in the bedroom. Here we go. Lightning test! Oh, God. Go, Dean, go.
Yeah. One more time. One more time. It's got to get down right on the floor there. Yes. Perfect. Set and action.
It's no business like show business. It's no business like show business. It's no business like show business. It's no business like show business.
Spies. EPK spies. Don't trust them. They'll steal your soul.
And set and background and action.
Every day it's the same thing. He's like one of those fucking frou-frou dogs that keeps humping your leg.
Very good. Cut it.
The camera's right on your shoulders, so just walk steady and real slow.
64 kilo, take 3. Hanley Mark.
He's a child murderer that some parents from Rapture burned alive. But then he came back.
No.
Back for revenge
No,
on our
no,
nightmares.
no.
Funny no one ever told us
Okay,
about him.
thank you.
You know what I'd say? Coffee. Make friends with
Mark, that's enough. You're scaring her.
The first one rehearsal, the second one.
So
The second is too fast, and the first one is too slow.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you might be in trouble, so we...
Lori!
Very good. Cut.
This movie has to go back to the basic. And I go back to the first original Friday 13 and the first original Nightmare. You know, I said, oh, this is the key. So from then on, so I'm so like a samurai, like, you know, my vision is like a samurai. Okay, this is it. This is the only way to make this movie.
So here's the timing of everything, guys. As soon as Lori goes down and everyone goes to her mark, Brendan looks down, then looks up and sees Principal Shea in this pane of glass, right? You guys need to move right here. Like that. Yeah. Good, okay? Right, and this is where you are, and as soon as he sees you, Bob, you take a couple steps this way, right to here, and they're taking off. Okay, so as soon as you see him coming, Brendan, you grab Jason and you take off. Let's rehearse one more time, guys. Let's go to first positions now, please.
I really wanted to be an actor when I was a kid. That's how I sort of started in show business, and I acted on television and, in fact, in radio.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I would have become an actor, actually, but I saw myself in too many productions where I was awful. So I decided to get behind the camera, or even be way behind the camera, and started New Line instead.
And background, and action.
Help! Someone get some help, you asshole!
Let's go!
Lori! Lori, you okay, Lori? Lori?
Good. Cut.
And we've cut, thank you.
Very good.
Good?
Yeah. Okay, Julian? Good, thank you. Yeah.
Hey, Marker.
Lots of life in the background, please. Lots of life and lots of energy. Here we go. And set.
Frame.
Back up. Where? In this hallway right here, around the corner. Oh, right here. Back up. And set.
Frame.
Back up, back up, back up. Okay. Pull your books in. Thank you. Pull your jacket in. Thank you. And action.
Mark, Will, listen, we got to talk. No, take it easy. Take it easy. Nobody wants any trouble around here. But look, the important thing is that you guys are safe. And why don't you come with these officers? We'll take you back to the hotel.
Cat. Hotel again. You can't get away. That was good so far.
The hardest part, I think, with horror movies, when I first read it, I sat there thinking, how am I gonna, like, make it not look cheesy, and not like, now you're in the real world, now you're in the dream world, and all of a sudden you scream, and it's like, most of the stuff isn't very, it's really hard to get it, make it believable.
Is that it? Yeah, I think so. Sorry, give me a little more.
When you actually get on set with everybody, it's like the writing gets lifted off the page, and then it becomes spooky.
127 Baker, take 3. Mark. Only Mark.
Stop, I'll cue you in, okay? And set. Here we go, and action. Session.
Ronnie Yu is just this amazing visual director, and also him working with Fred Murphy, who's the DP. My favorite part of this entire thing has been watching them come up with how to spook somebody out. And it's like a comic book. It's just totally written out like a comic book, and it's great.
Back up, back to once.
You get the door, right? You can come in, go, see him, then immediately go up because Jason's gonna come back.
I should probably do it from over here, right? So I'm not completely out of the shot.
So you don't see him, right?
I could be over him. The nice thing about being here is that you'll get them running through the frame, the body's wiping through as Jason's coming through.
Okay, set up. Let's do it.
Action, camera.
This is like Ronnie Yu coming through. That motivation is there. It's like Jason used a dead body to open the door for you. So it's like, it has to be like.
When Jason throws Officer Stubbs through a glass door. And it was so funny because I was really scared that scene, and Ronnie kept telling me to calm down. He was like, look at you on camera, you don't have to act scared because you are. And he just got a kick off of that, and it was fun. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Let me see.
Okay. At what speed do you think?
It's slow, but not that slow.
Okay.
Not that so casual, you know?
Okay.
Camera. Here we go. Reversing now, and action!
Oh.
Let's start again. Okay? Let's go back to one second.
Dude, I give him time to get that out.
No, that thing stays in there all the time.
Okay.
And that's why you don't.
Like I'm trying.
Action! him! Chuck the punch!
2, 3.
Thanks for the sound effects, bro.
Whoa! Make it work somehow, okay?
I'm not kidding.
Okay. Stop it a couple times. Maybe on the third one or something, you change it. You there you go. And then like that. So then when he grabs it, it goes whoa off like that. Okay.
168, take 1. Mark. A marker.
B marker.
Crap voice. Oh, thanks.
And set. And action!
Shit.
Tom and Jerry. Life and death situation now. You just saved their life, right? On action, it's like, and then, right? Like that. You know, otherwise, like, okay? So everybody,
Yeah, just gotta swipe them hard.
Okay.
I mean, it has to be like that. And then you pick this up, and you go, start the fuck. Imagine us trying to save that wounded person. All right? It's not like just, you know? You got every single one, you got the damage. Every single one. Every single one. It's not like this, you're just doing the motion.
Okay.
Okay?
Hit them hard.
Make it believable.
Yeah. Make it believe it's big energy, guys. Here we go. And action!
Ronnie, I don't want to hurt him.
Padded stunt guy. Don't worry, you can't hurt him.
All right, I'll hit you then.
168 Apple, take 1. A mark.
B marker.
Set the flame.
Tell me what, Robert.
Set. And action! One extra beat. Screw you right off.
I'm like,
Yeah, she knows. She knows. Go again. Here we go.
hi, Ronnie.
Here we go. And roll the sound, please.
168 Apple, take 4. A mark.
B marker.
Set. And action. Good cut. Check the game, guys.
I told you, didn't I?
When I get on stage, you know, you just know the song. But here you have to know the lines, you have to actually act it out, make it believable, and it's kind of different and yet the same. I actually enjoy both.
And then all this like fire everywhere, right? And
Fire
then the
debris.
say, get out of here, right? And then you go. Remember? You're limping out?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Both are 2 shot. Right, tight on that. Okay, so like track, she crawl,
She
with
crawls
track, debris come, right? And then they leave.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, now do you want to, as they start to come, do you want to do a little
You want to
bit?
go back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe
A little
drive
bit of
into
crawling out.
and drive into some flames or something? Have some flames over here. We
Sure.
can go
Yeah.
drive
Yeah.
into some flames.
With debris.
No, you quite
How about a dead body falling into the floor?
Yeah, Julian! What was that just now, eh?
That was me falling.
Take 1.
Mark.
A mark.
B mark.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay? Get back. Get started. Here we go. And very
going. Go on. Gotta hurry. Oh, shit.
Guys, save us, guys.
Oh. They got pictures of this. Ah, I hate pictures.
Yeah, very good.
Don't you hate pictures when you gotta look like this?
I think the most important thing is to find the look. Is to find the look of that. How do you make a dream world? Not like so dreamy that it become like a fairy tale or fantasy, you know? Because yet it has to be scary. It has to be eerie, you know? And yet in the real world, you still have to be eerie and scary, but you have a different look. You have the realistic look.
In order to separate dream world from reality, we've actually made it reasonably obvious in most instances. In places like Freddy's hell, you're instantly aware that it's a completely outlandish place to be, and the same with Jason's dream world. These are places that couldn't exist anywhere.
So I was lucky to have, like, you know, Fred Murphy and the art director, you know, John Willett, and everybody like work so closely together, and the visual effect people sort of like find that balance, you know. So we use a lot of color, different color, a lot of primary color, like deep red, deep blue, deep green on the dream world.
When the nightmare parts happen in what we call a real environment, like one of the houses, then we've treated it filmically as different. We've played with lighting, with bleach passing, with all sorts of things like that in order to make it a bit more subtle.
Robert? Yeah. Tilt your hat back this light.
Freddy Elvis Krueger. Here we go, and roll sound now. Rolling.
B marker.
And set. And action.
Boing, 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 boing. Oh. Chill.
The boiler room is an interesting set. It's Freddy's Nightmare World, and what I've done there is modeled that set after a city called Kowloon in China, where it was a city that developed over the years without any regard to building code or anything else. And all of the cable and the plumbing and the wire and electrical were all just sort of hung on walls, and they would drape down hallways and into rooms, and it was quite outlandish. So the set was an existing boiler room, and we've added tons and tons and tons of cable and wire and boilers and all sorts of mechanical and electrical stuff, so that it's absolutely crazy in there, and then painted everything with 5 different coats of paint in the sort of rust and fire range, so that when the light hits it, it has this very deep texture to it.
That's a good one there. That's great.
Penny for your thoughts, Chief.
Hey, Robert, does he want me to grab him and start that move? You know, when I turn him around?
Yeah, up here, right? Yeah. And Jason is like painful like this. And then this hand, actually, without you knowing it, is pulling out the machete. And this hand, you push me, like rather than turn around. Yes. No, you just push my hand, almost like slice decapitate me. I see. You know, like,
Well, I think that the film needed this look, because the look of the film has this sort of graphic novel look to it. You know, the whole way it's stylized is because of the contribution between Ronnie and Fred Murphy, the cinematographer.
Okay, we have speed. Hang on, pull this slate up. So rolling.
Here we go, and action.
I'm still too far out.
You gotta come closer.
All right.
Action.
Penny for your thoughts, Chief.
Okay. All right, I thought we were going to catch his dialogue, his improv dialogue at the end. So do you want him to go set and action?
Penny for your thoughts, Chief. Oh, scary.
Okay, we've cut. Thank you very much. Okay, that was our first really
Roll
good
again.
one.
Here we go.
Try
And
one
roll the
more.
sound, please.
What's interesting about the production design on this movie is that we have decided to not treat it like a normal horror film. We've decided that we actually want to make all the sets and the costumes and everything else very real, so that when scary stuff happens, you're really not expecting it at all.
But when he falls,
When he falls, it's still not green.
With Jason's dream world, to differentiate it from anything else, I've used watercolors because that's his secret fear.
We're gonna have like, he hit, right? He hit, he fell.
Right.
And then we have, the second unit have a shot of the bursting. Right? Oh, that should be sort of red, yeah? So when we cut back to Freddy getting up, it's green, right?
Okay.
What did he see? We can just jump back.
you see him through the water.
Yeah. Right?
And then
And then through the water.
reverse again.
Reverse, you see Jason come up. Whoop! Looks up.
Through the waterfall.
Well, right. Come down, and then go back to Freddy. We can clear, and Freddy's eyes go. Fantastic. You can shoot reverse magazine, and then have Robert try to walk backwards.
Like I'm walking out of it.
You know what I mean? To shut off. No,
So he's dry.
It's dry. So it's like
There you go.
It's like the water sort of like part.
Yeah, but the water will be going up.
Yeah, go on, and then as it goes. So
yeah.
we have to time this. We have to try a couple times.
I have to like, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like.
So we do this from the side.
Yeah, from the side.
Okay.
Okay? Let's put some dust on him. Let's put some dust on him. He just came up from that boiler.
135 Utah, take one.
Mark.
Hailing mark.
And set.
Action again.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Good.
I swung the machete at the water, made contact with water.
Exactly. Good. And then you try again. Which is great.
Okay, good.
And then try again, and then sort of like.
You want 3 times?
2 times. And when I said lower, really low, lower down to like non-threatening pose. Okay. Let's try again.
10 frames per second. See this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't right.
I'll
There you go.
produce it.
No. It's just the chin thing with it. Okay,
Go
look.
again. Come on.
So there is something you're afraid of after all.
The most fun I've had in the sets on this movie would be split between, I think, Jason's world and Freddy's world, because they truly are nightmarish environments, and they're the kind of fun stuff that make it quite unique visually. There is a big exterior wherein I've built a house that's at 45 degrees and sunk into the swamp, and there are around it all sorts of heads and arms trying to get out of the ground.
So the other one was.
So we got a total of 3.
Okay, so we're
We have
there.
one
Okay.
here plus 2.
Okay, can we just.
Keep an eye line open for Daisy.
You guys have to. John Willett?
Yeah.
What do you want to eat?
Hold 1 sec, we're just gonna figure that out now. How far do you think you want him to walk? And that will determine how far we put the platform. You could either have him come around this way or from shore. It seems, I guess, like he's got to come from shore because why would he walk around the back? So, but you're not gonna want to have him walking all that way because that'll just be. Let's go straight back from where we are, more or less. And that gives us a 3/4 onto it for start, okay? Charles, we're gonna need about 30 feet of platform.
30 feet, eh? So it's all shadow water, right? So no matter how far it goes. Right?
No, it does. No, he's on a steel platform. We'll just extend the steel platform, so it does get deeper. But
What you suggest, the light come from
it could be that dormer window there.
the
Yeah.
down window. Okay. So we have to put back it like this, and how?
What we could do is put a white bounce in the back and then just hit something like that, and it'll pop through.
Yep.
And before we go, what we'll do is let these guys see the back of it so they can see their access.
What do you think of the mud, John?
What did we do? I think the mud's going to be fucking brilliant. I love the mud. What it's going to need is a lot more greens, obviously, but that's a great base.
Well, we got lots more to dress it.
Oh, no, I know. As I said, this isn't dress. This is just a base.
No, I'm waiting for you. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, that's right. That's enough. That's enough. My math isn't very good early in the morning.
What do you think, Fern?
Boone's not happy today. Boone's spirit is bruised.
Get that? 3 rings?
Yeah.
You got 15 minutes.
This movie, as with most movies, the set construction, if it's carried out correctly, that about 20 minutes after the director yells cut, the whole set will fall apart, because that means that we haven't wasted one nail or one piece of wood in order to achieve the scenery. On a couple of instances, we actually have very, very big fires, and you can't use burnable materials, believe it or not, when you're staging a fire, because then take 2 becomes a bit of a problem. So what we've done is things like the dock, which you'll see in major fire near the end of the movie, it's actually made of steel and a product called hardy board, which is inflammable, or flammable. That's always a funny one in English. And it's all piped with propane pipes, so we can control the fire all the time. And that way we could use it as many times as we wish without risking the whole thing burning up. This film is different than others I've worked on because it's a big horror film, and I haven't done a lot of those. I've done similar things like Halloween H2O and Final Destination, but this is the first true sort of slasher horror movie I've done. So it's very different and challenging, because in order to make it interesting, you have to do something different, and how to separate it has been the fun part.
To put all this puzzle together, it's very difficult. It's almost like impossible. But I was so lucky that I'm able to bring a good friend of mine who's been my DOP in Hong Kong for 15 years. And he's like a DOP/director. And his name is Poon Hang Sang. And because he and I worked on a lot of action movie before, so we understand, what is required. And so that really helps me, because I have sometimes had to leave one scene for him to shoot. And then I have to come in to do the close-ups, of the actor. That means I have to really trust him. So I think the tools that we use is 2 things. We spend a lot of weekends, in my hotel room, and then work out the routine, because he himself is a very sort of expert martial artist. And then in Hong Kong, we always do the same thing. We sort of work out the routine, how to block, how to kick, how to fight, and all that. And then we have a very good storyboard, a drawer, and then so illustrate. So that throughout the weekend we work out everything. And then he go out and just execute. And that way first of all, I have the trust, and I feel more confidence, more relaxed that, okay, it's all on paper now. It's done, it's good. We sort of test it out already.
Okay. We ready? We have speed? And light him up. He's lit. And action, action. Ready, and turn left.
Bring up flame pad, bring up flame pad.
It was a new twist on a full burn that I had never done in the past. Glenn Ennis, who doubles Ken Kersinger, who is Jason, had to walk probably about 75 feet, fully engulfed in flames. And what the problem that presented to us was he became blind after so many feet. So we actually put a radio and an earwig in his ear and lit him on fire, gave him actions, and I actually, over the radio, watching the monitor, guided him through the cornfield. He would get to a certain mark that I had penciled on the screen, and I would say, veer left, and he would veer left. Another 20 feet, I'd say, veer right, and he would veer right. And he walked through this whole thing, walked right to my safety guys who had the CO2 canisters, hit the ground, and we put him out. So that was kind of a challenge on that one, but it worked out very, very well in the end.
Okay, Glenn, coming up. Come on up, Glenn.
Yeah, it gets a little toasty at times.
Apple box coming in.
My job is just to get beat up, burnt, abused.
Yeah, Tim, you guys can move?
Jason gets no respect, basically, even from the kids he later kills. They should know better by now.
Camera!
And reaction 1.
I just kind of enlarge what they've already established to a point where Ronnie Yu is happy and Poon Hang Sang, our second unit director. I just try and make it as big as possible and let them tell me when to stop.
The second unit is almost shooting parallel with us. And so that I have to really work, really close with the second unit director and the cameraman and also the stunt people to get what I envisioned. There's a lot of involved on fire, water, explosions, car crash, machetes.
It's not real, kids. It's just fake.
Cutting out, body parts. And all that different part, require a lot of precision, designs. And so that the storyboard is really help. And also the second unit director been working with me in Hong Kong for many years. So that's a trust. It's very, very, very important.
Okay, that's the 65. That's the wrong lens. 32. 32.
Poon, we're getting a little boxed in here with a guy on fire killing 3 people with a machete. We need to keep so much space. I mean, he's got a radius of like 8 feet. We're just encroaching now in the back.
Where you want the space where you want. You just can with us and see what the space far away.
Fine. I mean, you want to be back here? Could this be the end of the track?
Yeah, that would be good, right?
Yeah,
if the camera said, okay.
That's fine.
So the camera track will be like the camera-wise, starting here. So when the guy comes in, it gets here, and then when the second guy, so he's moving, so moving like this. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's fine.
So
now can this carry through, Chuck?
I can carry that through.
What if we carry that through to give him the spinning? There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll stop in there.
There you go.
This is our safety route here, so nothing in here. There's going to be 2 safety people, and that's it. We're going to have 1 safety man on the other side, which is Owen, just beside it. Nobody else should be here. Just give us lots of room. We have boxed him in, so this is a little dicey on our side. If Glenn gets in any trouble, he's hitting the deck before the end of the shot. If that happens, what I need this dolly to go to the end of the track, and everybody with it. When Glenn finishes a routine, he's going to hit the deck right here, and we're on him. The moment he makes his move to hit the deck, we got to move that thing to the end of the track at the same time. Leave it there. Once he's out, we're going to pick him up and we're going to walk in this direction. Right where Kathy is our safe spot. That's where we'll stop. Once we're clear there, then we can clean up in here. But once again, just let us do what we got to do, and we'll all be safe.
Ready and action. Ready and swing. Here. Shuffle left or shuffle right, Glenn. Hit you in the beer and cut. In you guys go.
I always miss the beer.
Move the dolly. Move the dolly, guys.
Yeah.
When he hits this,
yeah.
I have to get down low here to make it. You can come back up. So do you want me to get hit? Like, can you hear it?
Yeah. Right. The whole idea is you sense all this blood coming up to the almost it's under pressure, then you fell. It's not the way that's just cut, blood come up and you fell. Then we won't see anything, right?
Okay. I will stay here a lot longer and then.
Yeah, it's try to make a,
Yeah.
try to make drama reasonable.
Knock some of this stuff over or whatever.
It's okay, no problem. You can put up something, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All good.
Okay. Other cameras that.
This is being used for all the fire stunts that Jason goes through. Thickening up some areas in the mask just to make sure that the stunt doesn't have any problems with any hot spots on the mask. This is a silicone mask. When the masks are actually put together, the Nomax hoods are embedded within the silicone, so it's just basically double the protection. That silicone plugs are actually gaskets that go or are actually custom made to the mask. It actually creates a seal so that the actor is completely encased with the breathing apparatus that's contained within the mask.
Because you keep getting injured doing other stuff.
Okay.
It's good. Too brittle to do other stuff?
Exactly. Put enough in. Shouldn't have told you it was the last one.
So we put it in the fridge.
Packed it nice.
No, we're feeding it to make sure it was.
I know it's a good thing.
To make it get that body temperature.
Although, when my head was hot the other day, that felt really good. Yeah, full of it on there. It's the best thing.
that's why I'm getting this wussy sport.
It holds the gel. I stayed scruffy on purpose so it would just, you know, keep a nice thick support structure for the gel. Yep.
Let's do up the front of that fire suit, guys. Okay? Pushing it in.
Yeah.
You're connected. Yeah, Brett, where's Leslie? Glenn, you can help there.
Oh, actually.
I'm gonna hold these tubes out. Oh, totally want to push that down.
I'm ready.
Just got my hand in there. I'm just gonna push that tube up, Glenn.
Okay.
Is it in? Okay. I got her here. So Glenn, they've got accelerants on either side of the path when you're walking down. You want to go to the left or the right, doesn't matter. Oh, these guys got visuals on you all the way down there. Don't come right in the middle of the path because you'll have the hay on either side. Okay? And last one of the day, it's late. Just be safe on it.
Here, let's use them.
Careful, will you?
So did you get the carpet turkey at home?
Oh, there's no.
What did you just paint it? What did you just paint it?
Oh, this is just.
Oh, this is spray glue. We're just tacking down the wardrobe, so it doesn't come loose, so you don't see the edge of the prosthetic.
It's a major embarrassment for us.
Yes.
If you can see what's underneath, then they'll know it's fake.
These are our, what the guys at the shop made us, JP, and these will fit for our stuntmen, for women, like that, and the wardrobe goes over top. The hose connects. This is a blood rig and an open wound. The slash happens off camera. His back would be towards camera. Jason would come with a machete, cut him, he turns to camera, and the blood sprays. A big blood fest. The air pushes the blood through at a high volume.
10 feet, 15 feet.
For about 3 seconds. Gushing spray.
Yeah, we soaked both the camera crews last night, so.
And the dolly track and the lights.
We're very happy.
Our job was done well.
All right, guys, here we go. This is not time for final adjustments. We're there. Roll cameras. The ship has sailed.
Rolling, cameras rolling.
Speeding on B.
Speed on B.
Out. Here we go, and lighting. Ready, and action! Ready, and swing! Go forward, Glenn, go forward, Glenn, go forward. And cut! Cut! Okay, bring him out. Guys, clear out. Clear out. Don't come in. Watch the track, guys. That was exciting. It's coming up. Help him out.
Very nice, Glenn. That was the last burn scene with Glenn Innes, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice.
Good on that one? Burns in the eyes worse than actual fire. I'd rather have fire in my eyes than any more of that gel. Not to say that wasn't fun.
So, as soon as you've gathered your thoughts,
Shower.
shower and then come on back. If you need a shower. But now you're into, now we're into mass carrying.
Yeah, okay.
With the exception of helicopters and aerial work, we've basically done the entire gamut of stunts. We have done fire work, we've done car work where we turned over a old Chevy van.
And action.
We have used a tremendous amount of stunt equipment. The wire work has just been phenomenal. I mean, we have sent these guys flying in every conceivable direction. We've had them flying into objects through walls, upstairs, downstairs. I mean, it's just, you name it, we've done it. It's really been quite an interesting show, stunt-wise.
Second unit was really key in the fight scenes. We had a terrific second unit director, and we had terrific stunt guys on this film, and they held our hands through it.
And you see Freddy flying through the air and hitting a wall, or flying through the sky and landing in Crystal Lake on fire. And boy, we have some great air stunts and some great high falls.
And knowing how much I could do, when you see Freddy flying through the sky on fire, I wish I could lie and tell you that was me, because it looks really cool, but it's not. I mean, that's my stunt double. Great stunt double in this, and Doug's really making me look good.
I really credit the stunt coordinator, though. I mean, we had the idea of the construction set, but I believe that it was his idea to come up with the swinging, whatever the hell that is, cement mixer, and it really worked as sort of a, it's like whenever you needed a big knock, here it comes.
We physically put Robert Englund on that and swung him around, and he had a blast. We lowered him down, got him back on his feet, and he was giggling the whole time, so.
I've never worked so hard in my life, and I'm an old dog now. I mean, I surf, and I can do everything once. And what happens on a set? Sets are very macho and very male, and you try to get out there. But in the case of this film, I mean, I wore the wire. All the underwater stuff is me. All the water stuff is me.
The challenges here was basically taking a show like this, a show with this size and scope, on the road and doing it here on location in Vancouver. I've had a lot of help from my co-stunt coordinator, Scott Attia, who's just been a tremendous help, helping me find local people, stunt people, talented, were the right size. He's been such a help in that area. And then my stunt rigger, who's been in charge of putting together all my wire work, has been Kurt Bond, who's also from up here. And I've just been totally impressed with his work, with his equipment, and the things we've ended up getting on film. I've been just very, very pleased with.
So Deb, I'm going to set the ratchet, and I'm going to give you a count. 3, 2, 1, go. On go, I will fire you.
Okay.
Turn around, you behind you. See how everything is behind you.
Right.
The guys are going to hold the mats up like that. I'm going to try to put you right into there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So for the
What's
first one,
pressure?
well, we're just going to dial it up. It's turned right down right now, and then we're just going to dial it up. Okay.
Excellent.
Cautionary steps vary upon what type of stunt we're doing. If it's a high fall, then we're bringing in porta-pits, airbags, boxes. With ratchets, what we'll do is when Freddy or Jason or one of their many victims go flying out of frame or to a wall, during rehearsals we'll actually put pads up against the wall and along the floor, and we'll show all the camera guys exactly how they're going to go and how they're going to fly, and we'll just pull those pads out for the actual take on film, so that way we can actually see them hitting the wall and the impact.
Right before you go, 3, 2, 1, go. Just give me a little hop so that you're up in the air. 3, 2, 1, go. So that you're on your way up on go. It just gives you a little bit more of an arc as you fly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But these first ones, let's just get the pressure down and just get you to the pad, and then we'll start fine-tuning little things like that, all righty?
Okay.